I could have explained the previous. I will rephrase that in one of these upcoming videos. That contention, right? The humans persevere. In order for humans to persevere in an intrinsically callous environment, we need to possess the absolute most heinous attributes that environment endows upon us in order to get past it. It's like already 16 minutes. Again, I've only played like 15. Just rambling. But no, it's kind of like my own personal purview towards this thing. Breakdown after breakdown has led me to reluctantly embrace how evil things are and how just disgusting and monstrous our species is. Life is bad. Humans are worse. Humans make life even worse, but we don't have to. I also believe that given the extent of depravity that humans are capable of, we're also capable of just as considerable of an extent of decency, compassion, empathy. Like, we can look at all this crazy crap we can build. We can go to the moon, but we can't stop raping and murdering. So, oh no, those are those people. Those are they're different people. You can break them into sects, as if they're not all human. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. At the end of the day, we all want the same thing. Compassion, understanding, love. Yet how we define those things is just crap we pull out of our ass, because it's just stuff we make up. The stuff we feel, that's all stuff that we make up. It's not supposed to. Our feelings coming into existence has no bearing on existence itself. It's simply a product. We are now here and we feel and we do things, and that's it. Those things don't mean anything. There's no underlying meaning behind the way or why anything happens. Things just, something happens that causes another thing to happen, that causes another thing to happen, and that's just an endless loop. That's life. None of it matters. Damn. But anyways, I feel like I've embraced a little bit. I can't think anyone can really embrace how evil and shitty humans are, but you can try to work towards gradually accepting and accommodating so that evil, that pervasive force of evil doesn't, you know.
Life, there's roadblocks. Don't let nothing stop you, because we ain't stopping.
Seep itself, well, that's not the right, because you kind of need to let evil seep in order to get ahead of other people. You need to be, like, selfish. You need to, like, think about yourself. Now, there's not... I need to contextualize that. You can't help everyone. You can't... It's good to help, but unless you're in a position of which you're already, like, farther ahead of everyone else, you're in a position of excessive power and influence. It's like, there's only... You're going to be taking considerably more out of yourself in order to help even less amount of people. Someone like Mr. Beast, right? Somebody going into Africa and installing all sorts of new orphanages and schools and fresh water wells, and it's like... I
recreated every single... This is one of the dirtiest... This is the most expensive... This is the largest slice of pizza...
Imagine if he didn't have all that influence and money. He wouldn't be able to help nearly that extent of people. The everyday person equivalent is going to like a soup kitchen or trying to move food from one place to the other or doing charity work, right? But even still, there's kind of a controlled amount of people that you can really benefit with that. If you really want to help people, you got to think of yourself first. It really sucks, man. I know. But back to the kids suffering with Will and Jada Smith.
August was a 23-year-old up-and-coming R&B singer from New Orleans creating straight-up baby-making bangers. He had been suffering from a severe autoimmune disease that attacked his liver. The illness led to multiple incidents, including a collapse on stage in 2014, which ended up in a 3-day coma. In 2015, he battled a degenerative eye disease that nearly caused him to go blind. When he met the Smith family, through befriending Jaden, August was at a very low point in his life. Jada seemingly took her friend's son under her wing with the intention of helping him heal, but it progressed into a full-blown relationship. They also mentioned that August came into their life when Jada and Will were broken up.
Damn, I can relate to that. I feel bad for you, August. Like, that's... I mean, you know, all those physical abnormalities, you had some degree of influence and such, but if we're looking specifically at the dynamic between him and Jada, right, the power dynamic, yeah, worthy of a little bit more sympathy, because this guy was on the receiving end. He was the one that was given all these ideas and these feelings. They just, I don't know what happened. I mean, she probably just used him and then ditched him. I guarantee you that's what happened. Like, she's incredibly emotionally inept. I don't know, let's see.
I really felt like we could be over. You
Yeah,
know?
no, we were over.
And then what did you do, Jada? I think you need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I.
Dad,
Yeah, man.
you're it.
Don't tell me what I need. I already see therapy. You're not my therapist.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened.
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement, an entanglement, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement, an entanglement, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August,
An entanglement, an entanglement,
an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
an entanglement.
Yes.
It's so easy for you to laugh like that, Jada. You shut your mouth. Like, he's dealing with the brunt of your dishonesty. I mean, granted, he threw away his actual committed relationship for the sake of his stupid ass impulsive emotions. But you reciprocated that by getting into a monogamous relationship when that's not what you wanted, with someone you weren't even sure that you wanted that with. And now he suffers the most. Will Smith, he suffers the most at everyone. I mean, granted, screw them all, right? But if you're trying to gauge, if you're trying to look at the scenario, this guy got cucked.
Okay, hold on, wait. I'm not okay with it.
Ew, you licked it. She just licked his face.
I'm not okay with it.
You're getting cut.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real.
He's the one that probably faces the most amount of pain when it comes to this. Especially when you look at his ideals, his values. But then again, he shot himself in the foot. That's his fault. Especially someone in his position. Dude, just go get another one. Discard her. Find somebody else who's better. And there's all sorts of people who are better. There are billions of people out there, and you can choose virtually any of them. Most of them. It already isn't about who you are. And you're seeing that right here. It's just emotion. That's it. Love is just has nothing to do with anything. You just find someone, that person makes you feel intense emotions, that's the thing that people follow. Nothing to do with this, nothing to do. I'm going to say that over because it is entirely true. Humans are animals. We are animals. We don't know what the hell's going on. We just feel stuff and do things. That's it.
Yes.
A relationship.
Yes, it was a
Yeah.
relationship.
Based on Will's tone and his demand for Jada to admit it was a relationship, it seemed like he was still upset even though this had happened more than 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yep. That's the great thing about exclusivity in a relationship. It hurts profoundly. And that reverberates almost arguably infinitely, or for the rest of your life. The stupidest shit. I've heard some of the dumbest shit from people that I've been really fond of that would say stuff like this. Oh, the first person who made me feel a certain way at a certain time in my life, when I was the youngest and most vulnerable, that was the one. It's like, or maybe you're just dumb. Maybe you don't know how to quantify your feelings effectively in a manner that's actually like intelligent and mature. So that's on you. Whatever that person put you through, in this specific case, this person put that person through a lot, took advantage of them, and they still, to this day, tell themselves that was the one. It's just delusion. And in this person's case, mental illness. But that person's more worthy of pity than this fucker, right? But at the end of the day, screw him.
Because I wasn't sure I was ever going to speak to you again.
I know.
Yeah, like the fact that I'm speaking to you again is a miracle.
I would agree.
Dude, come on. You can acknowledge it. Ditch this bitch.
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with... Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
You're like, I don't know why the fuck I'm still talking to you. But here you are, not just talking to her, on a goddamn platform, like a televised platform. Is this your obsession with your career bleeding through your actions? Is this you wanting to have your feelings mean something? Is that what, like, you're trying to almost like hold on to something? I'm sorry, but screw you. I'm sorry, comma, but screw you. That doesn't work. I'm sorry by itself, right? I'm sorry that that's the thing that this person had to deal with. But also, screw you. How's that? Not screw you because of the thing you feel. I can acknowledge how you feel something, but regardless of that, screw you. That's what I meant. Don't get me wrong.
But it ain't for the weak at heart.
There seemed to be a little bit more pain in Will's voice. Will's obvious distress became a huge meme online.
You just call him Smith because he lost the will. The internet is a vortex of memes and suffering.
Because again, nobody knew the long history of their complicated life partnership. All they thought was Will Smith's wife just got him on a podcast to tell him how much she loved another man. But there's a really interesting part of this interview that most people missed.
I'm gonna get you back first, and then...
You gonna get me back? I think you got me back. I think we're good on that, okay?
Okay, that's probably true.
Probably not. I'm not just using my own personal experience, but like, this person, if the person who likes the other person more is the person who has the less power in that dynamic. There is no way that you can hurt Jada even nearly as much as she hurt you, given that you care much more about her and that's not reciprocal. Clearly.
The fact that I'm speaking to you again is a miracle.
I would agree. I would agree.
No, but
that even saying that sucks, man. But it's entirely true. I mean, what you could even, like, I don't know, man. The only thing I can maybe think of is just ditching her, as in that being the thing that would potentially be able to hurt her in some way. Like, you would need to have a profound impact on this, because you were the one that almost created this person's life for them in many ways. You just, well, if you were smarter, you took that away sooner. They would be able to live longer without that and have that regret sort of compound, you'd think? I don't know. I mean, I guess that depends on the individual, how they react to that. Jada would seem like someone who'd, like, it would probably hurt. Long-lasting reverberations. There's some people where it's like, they don't really... I'm not one of them. I gotta be the guy that reminds the other person that they fucked up. Through my own exponential success and my own callous indifference towards them. Because that's the way that we're comparing and contrasting. In this case, that's the way that this guy was made to feel. He just was worthless. He didn't matter to this person. He didn't matter as much to this person that he really wanted to matter to. That he made an agreement that he did matter to them. And specifically in this particular way to each other. And only each other. Well, according to him, he thought, and she thought. He thought, she thought. God damn it. What a time we live in.
Be gone, fuck!
But there's a really interesting part of this interview that most people missed.
I'm gonna get you back first, and then...
You gonna get me back? I think you got me back. I think we're good on that, okay?
Okay, that's probably true.
Will jokingly said he is gonna get her back, but then immediately admits that he probably had this coming after all these years of Jada putting up with him. What he did not realize is that he would not stop being an embarrassment after this moment. It was only going to get worse. On March 27th, 2022, Will and Jada attended the 2022 Oscars together. That night, Will was nominated for Best Actor for his portrayal of Richard Williams in the biographical sports drama King Richard. However, things took a strange turn after Chris Rock made a joke about Jada, who has spoken openly about having alopecia, a hair loss condition.
I disclosed this information publicly. How dare you acknowledge it? Granted, I mean, it'll come out eventually. Something like that. But, shut up. Of course. You can just make up anything. It's just fun. I'm just pointing out how dumb, how even just his reaction to it. You idiots talked about it. And you want other people to know about it. Because you broadcast your entire every nuance of your stupid-ass private lives to everyone. Not that I'm complaining about that. I'm just... That's the most immediate emotion that this evokes, right? Your guys' stupidity. I need to go, man. I still got like 8 minutes.
Chris compared Jada to Lieutenant Jordan O'Neill, the star of G.I. Jane, notorious for her short buzz-cut hairstyle. Will initially laughed, but then made it clear he didn't appreciate the joke as he stormed on stage and smacked Chris before telling him to keep my wife's name out of his mouth. From the silence of the audience and the look on Chris's face, it seems like the reaction was 100% unscripted. Despite this encounter, Chris didn't press charges.
Yeah, because Chris is kind of a bitch. I hate that. So you don't stand up for yourself? Like, that's the only way you can stand up. Speaking about him at a comedy, like, making fun about it, that's not really standing up for yourself. That's like you going to your friends and complaining about your ex. Like, what you should have done? Granted, you should know MMA, so nobody ever steps to you like that, and if they do, you can just submit them in like 10 seconds. Especially someone like that. I mean, he has boxing experience. What's he gonna do when he gets flipped on his head mounted? Anyway, Chris Rock, him in his situation, his only retaliatory measures or means of being able to retaliate would be pressing charges. And he absolutely fucking should have. Absolutely. Are you kidding? Nah. I don't want to do that. People think I'm a bitch. It's like, yeah, you got bitch slapped, and now you're not standing up for yourself. That's what makes you look like a bitch. Press charges, get money out of them, like make it a show, make it so that people know that that's not okay. But you didn't. Instead, you just waited a year so you can make fun of them in your stand-up like a year later. Like that's weak, dude.
They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
Like, you gotta, when people throw shit, you gotta throw it right back. Depending on the context, but a scenario, depending on how much you can gain or lose, there's always context. But in this instance, you insisted not to press charges against Will. And then what afterwards, right? Like, they're probably going to go over in this documentary, but I'm somewhat informed about all these things, because it's just interesting as people. Will Smith, he didn't apologize after the fact, and then he started hearing about your jokes, and then he was like, oh, not cool. Why, you let him go. You let him do his thing. And now he feels he's absolved of what he did. All because you were too weak to stand up for yourself. Do the right thing, man. If someone's being a piece of shit, they need to know that. Don't just make pathetic emotional excuses as to why, you can't do anything in retaliation. They're trying to make things worse for you so that they can benefit themselves. No, don't let that happen. With anything, with anyone.